We are back for round 6 at the Czech Premodern Championship. I'm Adam Koska. I'm here this round with Jirka Tuma.
Hi there, everyone.
We're going to have another mono blue versus mono black matchup this time. We had one in round 2. Now we have Łukasz Kowalewski with mono blue Dreadnought, not the control type, at least not pre-board, but with everybody's favorite shrimp. You said, Jirka, that you know the player, Łukasz?
Yeah, we met with Łukasz at Polish Nationals in February, and he's a great guy, first of all. Really pleasing to just communicate with him. And he's also a great player. He also plays online. Mostly replenish control though, but he played this deck also at Polish Nationals, and I believe he's very fond of it. So he's definitely a player to watch. Any? This looks like a stock list.
Yeah, right. Like I was looking for some new piece of technology.
No, it's a regular tight Dreadnought, even with Dominate in the sideboard.
Okay, against him we have Radek Hajoušek with mono black, but this time no Nether Spirits, but instead we have Clerics.
It's mono black Clerics, nice. Exactly. So very aggressive, very quick, like Silver Bullet deck that just it's like Glass Cannon deck. You know, you just try to go really quickly on the board with your Priest of Gix and Rotlang Reanimator, and then potentially with Rotlang on the board, just slam down Dark, Supplicant, and sacrifice your 3 Clerics to get your Scion of Darkness.
Right, that's
all together, there, right? All together with the zombies, right? So yeah, this is like really fast deck. However, it tends to be really fragile.
I mean, I'm looking at the deck. I think like. I know it's capable of some really good turn 1 Dark Ritual plays. Like if you play Priest of Gix, then you can like, get on board really quickly. I gotta say though, like one thing, in Vienna, I was playing against an unknown opponent. He went turn 1 Ritual, and I was like, I'm in a world of pain. He was on play, and he went Rotlang Reanimator. Yeah. And I was like, well, it could have been worse. It was Hypnotic Spectre.
It's not as scary to see that, right? I mean, it can turn so pretty dramatically, but still, seeing...
I'm not saying it's bad,
I faced this deck just once, honestly. My opponent went in all 3 games pretty much Ritual into Priest of Gix, into something, which was like, wow, this seems really impressive. Well, still, from the perspective of the mono black deck, they have like for Cabal Therapy.
That's true. Yeah.
And Quick Clock, which is something that really pays off against mono blue Dreadnought, right? Yeah. So Łukasz might be actually climbing a hill here.
I'm wondering, there's so many different versions of mono black. I've seen the other day, there's this version with like the shadow creatures, the Dothy Slayer and like Carnophage, and so like that one is like just a little bit faster than this one, I would say, because your creatures are bigger. You're playing 1 mana 2/2s and like unblockable creatures. This one is more like it has more values, right? It's just like if an opponent plays a sweeper, you have Rotlang Reanimator, you're probably still fine. So yeah, I'm wondering like you're trading speed for something else here.
And you also play Cabal Archon, right? Which allows you to do some tricks here and there. I mean, it's not as good since there's no damage on the stack as it used to be, right? But I sort of agree. I mean, the typical Suicide Black is like really, okay, here are my threats, deal with them, you know, otherwise you're dead.
And you don't have much time to do it.
Whereas Clerics have like more wiggling space, I guess.
Okay, but we'll see. We see maybe, is that there was some mulligans?
It appears to be a mulligan from Radek's side. So.
Radek, okay.
I believe that's quite typical for the mono black Clerics because you really need to get some sort of fast clock. You're not gonna win by just missing your turn 1 play and then playing a Rotlang on turn 3, right? That's not a good plan.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so Łukasz was mulliganing as well. He's shipping a card.
Yeah, maybe that's what the... Yeah. Is that what the dice is for? Like,
I believe so.
Does it mean like going down to 5?
Because they both mulligans to 6 and Łukasz... obviously, Radek is on the play, while when Radek decided to go down to 5 cards, then Łukasz had to put 1 card back already.
Okay. So thanks, guys, for communicating to us like this.
Yeah, we got too deep into the deck. So
Scion, sure, why not?
No, Supplicant.
Supplicant, sorry. Scion is the big guy, Supplicant is small.
Exactly.
Got it.
Scion it shall be.
Łukasz gives it a little read here, and I suppose he's gonna go for some card selection.
Yep. So
to
just
sculpt the perfect hand.
regular start as we are used from any Stiflenought. Oh, I love the islands. I believe it's an Odyssey island or Invasion. I'm not sure. Invasion or Invasion probably, right? Yeah.
And then on the other side we have.
That's Odyssey. This one is
so
Odyssey.
okay,
I'm very
okay,
sure
okay.
about that one.
Yeah, the golden era of Magic. Some would say. Some would say, oh no.
Definitely for me.
Some would say nonsense. That means Tempest or the Saga.
Of course, Mirage lands are beautiful. I mean, those are the.
Okay, so the hand is full of cards, no lands though. So
exactly. So I guess there's a land on the top, right? He portented, so
and he kept. So,
he kept it on top. So it's likely that Łukasz has land.
Why wouldn't you draw it so that you give your opponent smaller space to choose from with the discard?
If it was me, I would probably have the land on top. Well, first of all, to have foil if necessary, if anything, and to just make opponent's therapy a little bit worse. Especially if the card was impulse. We don't know that, of course.
So does Radek have a second land? He does not.
He does not. He might be anticipating a ritual to go on board quickly. Yes, there was land as expected, so now Łukasz is open for 2 impulse, and he's not under that much of a pressure.
Yeah, this is the spot he wants to be in, right? Like, just work on improving his hand.
Subtly can be done.
Okay, well, that's... getting close to something.
Exactly. I mean, Radek is just one cleric away from getting the big guy. But I mean, Łukasz can simply draw a stifle.
Oh, that would be really beating hard. Okay. Sack your board and oh my god. Okay, you need to be really careful if you're Radek not to just like suicide your board into a 1 blue mana spell.
Would you go for it with Rotlang though?
I mean,
consider ritual into Rotlang now.
Yeah.
Would you go for it? Just considering that there might be stifle for the big guy effect.
I'm gonna say yes, just because like if you're doing what you're doing right now, you're not winning.
Yeah.
Even if you put Rotlang Reanimator, you're just sorry, but you're not winning. So yeah, I think I would. Also, like Łukasz, like Radek checked Łukasz's hand not such a long time ago. So there's now 4 unknown cards, right? Like 1 draw step, 2 from Gush, 1 from Impulse.
Well,
what's okay? So he's playing Impulse with 2 blue floating.
Exactly, that was the play. So now he just is finishing resolving his impulse, but
a lot of cards. Now I think
he's probably going to discard at the end of turn.
But like the danger of Stifle is a little bit bigger now, considering that Łukasz basically has a completely new hand at this point. Yeah. Okay, well,
Portent is good follow up, definitely.
But like it's also a window for Radek, right? Like
definitely.
If he has what you mentioned, he has like Ritual Rotlang, it's gonna leave him with a couple of zombies and
a 6/6.
And a 6/6. That's like 12 power toughness.
And suddenly you can block Dreadnought, right? Worst case scenario, you could go for it. Yeah.
So the Scion, it also has other abilities, right?
It's trample, and whenever it deals damage to opponent, you can grab a creature from their graveyard.
From their graveyard, not from yours.
Yeah,
there we have it.
From that player's graveyard.
Okay. So that ability doesn't do much. But you can't.
No. It's just a 6/6 body. That's it. It's just a fatty.
Like you can. There's times where you can bring back Dreadnought and just let it die.
Exactly.
Or like sacrifice a bunch of cards for Rotlang.
Just for the epic effect. You can sacrifice your 12 power creatures, right? With the Rotlang tokens.
So come on, let's see some action. Otherwise, I mean, Łukasz certainly wouldn't mind if there's no action from Radek, but like, let's have a game.
Actually, Łukasz didn't need to discard any cards, so I assume he's on perfect 7.
That doesn't mean like that doesn't look like a third cleric.
Yeah. Oh, really? Something can be down.
Like at this point, you do it now. Like you can sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like he stepped out.
Yeah. If it was me, I would have done it.
Okay.
Still.
Well, that would be the same.
Yeah, of course. But you should have tried that before.
Yeah. Right. Like you do it before combat, then you attack with 1, and then like you double the power and toughness that you have on board.
I mean, I guess Radek might be afraid of Chain of Vapor.
Sure.
Just to get
makes
bounced.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the ultimate bummer.
But still, I mean, do you feel like winning? Okay, Dark Ritual, that's a great draw for Radek. Let's see.
Unfortunately, Łukasz has 2 mana open already, so he can have
to say about that.
a lot of nasty tricks. But okay, let's see what happens.
Let's see how it unfolds. Yeah.
Like he knows the foil is away, so maybe there's chances are slightly higher for him to resolve something.
Yeah,
that foil on the supplicant was pretty aggressive. And maybe it signals that Łukasz doesn't have an answer to that Scion, right? Like if you have answer, you let it resolve, you let them...
I mean, he's obviously looking for Dreadnought, and he managed to discard Flash of Insight of that foil.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That might be helping him out quite a bit.
Counterspell Ritual.
Wow.
Why would you not counterspell what comes out of the ritual? Are you still afraid of like duress therapy?
Yeah, let's say that Łukasz has a wrong read on Radek, and he would consider Radek having another land to have 4 mana total to go for Rotland, duress into Rotland or something like that.
That would be pretty cool.
Perhaps.
So there's both of leeches, which Łukasz gives.
But by that logic, it would make more sense from Radek's side to play the duress first anyway, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably another thing here.
Okay. So this is a race now between Łukasz trying to get his combo probably with the Flash of Insight. He might actually respond to the Oath of Leeches.
No, the Oath has...
No.
It is in response,
it
makes sense, because the Oath is still on Łukasz's side.
Yeah. So this is like, 9 cards, something like that. So I guess we're looking either for the Dreadnought, for the combo, or for like a way how to stop the Oath. Because the Oath is, like, if you're playing grindy game without Dreadnought, the Oath is pretty powerful. And
yeah, considering that Dreadnoughts typically has no creatures in there, and you might not be as scared of just sacrificing your clerics into Dark Supplicant anymore, right?
You will get them
back. You can
right,
refill.
Right.
Considering that Łukasz played pretty much a demonic tutor.
Yeah, that card is... How have we been living in the world of Premodern for years, not realizing that card is
that's right.
Like, so many cards must have... So many players must have read the card and were like... Yeah, maybe not.
Not good enough, right?
Come on. Did you think he tutored for the day? So like he had it?
No, I think he had it. I mean, you wouldn't really. I mean, if there was no Dreadnought in the pile, you might consider that just because you have no way of finishing the game. But I mean, Łukasz is sitting pretty behind his Mishra's factory right now. I mean, of course, he might be afraid of some smarter or whatever, but
I can see a Dreadnought. Yeah, there's
right?
a Dreadnought in the hand for sure. Like that card is very distinct.
I believe we might see Gush over here. Yep, 2 blue floating right there.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? No 2 blue. So no Gush just yet.
If he gushes now, he kind of leaves his defenses open for a bit.
No, he's just
going for it. Okay, yeah. Why not?
Exactly. And Vision Charm makes it so that Łukasz is going to be untapped with double blue.
Yeah,
on
right.
his
Like
turn.
that's just so. Like whenever I'm playing against Dreadnought, I'm so much more scared of Vision Charm than Stifle because like you like their defenses are up when you're trying to interact. That's just so much better.
Seems totally
still
unfair.
No Scion. Come on.
I mean, clerics really need to get to 3 mana.
Yeah,
otherwise, half of their deck.
What
was that? Is that a smarter?
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna work.
I guess he shortcutted it until. Oh no,
maybe
he believed that Dreadnought was still in there.
So like we were gonna go for upkeep smarter.
Waiting for upkeep, I suppose. No upkeep.
Oh come on! Like if you showed it already, maybe.
What happened with it? Oh, so he untapped? No, he just managed to pass. That doesn't seem good.
And also, like Łukasz knows now, you should probably wait with the Gush as a response to the smarter, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, depends on what's the cards he's holding at the moment. But right now at 4 mana, he can hardcast foil, for example. I'm not saying that he should do that, considering that he has Gush. Obviously.
Yeah, right. Like foil would get there anyway.
I mean, he's 1 attack away from winning, and Radek is not even trying to cast that smart end of turn or during combat. Just so, I believe he just missed on 2 mana. No matter what sort of cards he has.
Maybe he's like waiting for discard spell to make sure that the smarter.
I guess
if
that's his only out, he might be holding Cabal Therapy. That would be pretty good here.
Priest of Gigs. Oof.
So he's going all in combo.
Okay, but then that just means that...
All the more, I believe he should have played it smarter.
Yeah.
During Lukasz's turn.
And the combo doesn't even stop the Dreadnought. Like, it's 6/6 is not big enough. Like, you can
I mean, if Priest resolves, then Rotlang might show up. And
I mean, yeah, but...
Yeah, I agree with you on this.
I mean, like, okay, sure, I see it. Like, you're going to have 12 power and toughness,
So it is a plan.
It is a plan. Stifle on the mana. Okay.
Epic,
like
nice.
So you can have your 2/1.
Yeah.
But that's all you can have. Like, I'm not gonna let you have anything else. Yeah. So that means
6/6 for blocks.
Yeah, I think that's the only way how to stay alive. But what if the Mishra's Factory joins?
If Lukasz attacks with Mishra's Factory,
then it should be a game, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Unless there's like snuff out or.
Yep, and that's what he's going for. No, he
I think the math
sees
works.
the writing on the wall right there, and that's it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of felt like
I mean, both players mulliganed quite a bit, and especially
it's true that Radek hasn't played Liz Land number 2 for a long time now. Yeah,
so
you were saying?
Just that I mean, Radek's gameplay was really nerfed just by the whole sense that he couldn't really get out there on the board with anything but 1/1s.
There is one snuff out in the main deck. Does it kill the Dreadnought?
It does,
right? It's not back.
As long as you have a swamp.
So post-board we have Powder Keg. That card can get rid of Dreadnoughts. Maybe more Cabal Therapy.
I believe it's just Cabal Therapy and Powder Keg. There's nothing else that you could potentially consider here.
What do you board out? Is Oath of Liege good enough? Maybe yes, because the game is going to be grinding.
Oath of Ghouls, I mean, I can't say I love it. But you gotta do what you gotta do. We might have worse cards in there. I mean, the Withered Wretch, it can eat up. Oh, there are Headhunters. Can you see those Headhunters over there? Oh!
That's the one that when it deals damage to, they discard a card.
They discard a card, exactly. And it has a morph. Card, no? That's sweet. Yeah. I would love to see Headhunter on the board. So that probably stays.
It's also a Cleric.
So
fascinating.
With the Dredge, everything the Wither Dredge does is that it might be able to eat Flesh of Insight, right?
Some of those blue decks that shift into more control shell post board also run Accumulated Knowledge. So like you might if their plan is just to be like very grindy, very controlling, then you can also do that. But yeah, that would be pretty much it, I think.
I mean,
I'm not sure if you want Vendetta. It kills the Dreadnought, but like it hurts.
But you got just one copy, to be honest, and you get a Gilded 12/12 somehow. I mean, from my perspective, I play black quite a bit, and honestly, I find Vendetta good because that's the first removal that you offer to them to counter.
Okay, sure.
Right? Yeah. That's what you typically
It's true that also you only have one, so it's not like the second Vendetta would be dead if you kill the Dreadnought. I guess it's worth it.
Yeah. That's definitely
you have some life gain also in like Cabal Archon.
I think the clerics should still keep their clock as fast as possible, which makes me think that Oath of Ghouls is not at its best, actually. If you're on the play, I would cut them alongside with one Withered Wretch. That would be my plan. Or you might consider just removing the Sign of Darkness as a line.
And that also means taking out the supplicants.
Because exactly. Because this way, you just avoid the potential stifle bump.
I mean, it's not easy.
I mean,
you have.
Sorry, guys, we haven't played the deck at all, so we are not the best ones to comment on that.
We'll see what Radek thinks about it. Then Mono Blue has. Are you going for the Parallax side here?
No, definitely not.
No.
I mean, they're quick enough, right? I mean,
I don't see this mono black deck as like an all-in aggro. It's to me it looks more like they're playing Rotling Reanimator, which costs 3.
But don't they hope for like going Ritual into Priest of Gigs into at least one more threat? Like that being their opener and keep attacking for 4 each turn.
Yeah, that's true. That that's a pretty quick
and
start.
I mean, if they go on board and you just slam down Parallax Tide, what do you do next?
That's true. Like you're probably going to be behind by the time you're casting the Tide.
I think so.
Do you sideboard Dominate? Like a 5
that
mana?
Seems really steep. Their best cards are 3 drops, right?
Yeah, right.
So you
like maybe what do you actually discard? I mean, sideboard.
Well, Chin of Vapor might be okay to just, blast their quick ritual hands. If they go ritual into priest into something, then having Chin of Vapor slows them down considerably, right? Okay. So if you have any cards that you want to specifically remove from your deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're off to game 2. Both players get their opener. Radek with a swamp and go. Łukasz casts
Portent. Right. Snow-covered swamp.
Right.
Let's see if we can see thermokarst from Łukasz. It's to gain 1 life.
What does that one do? Like if you
if you destroy a snow-covered land, then you gain 1 life.
That's just so random.
Yes.
This is the most random ability on a card that I've seen.
Yeah, that is sweet. Okay,
Port it is. That is pretty slow.
That's not, but I mean,
but he's not developing his border.
It goes along his plan, right? Because he probably is opening himself to a good turn 3. Let's say Priest of Gigs into something, and tapping 1 land here might be crucial.
Okay.
Let's see if Łukasz has a daze.
Like he should really play something right now.
Yeah,
right?
obviously. I mean, otherwise he's not winning.
Okay. Blind therapy.
Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do.
What do you name here? Dreadnought? Depends on if you have an answer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he named something we don't know
what was named? It was Dreadnought, indeed.
Dreadnought and it hit, okay. So there's
double counterspell. Nice. So I guess we are going to see a follow-up creature and flashback right away.
That would be nice, yeah. Because there's not much that...
There's Gush, Stifle, and Flash of Insight.
Yeah.
I mean, Gush is good, obviously, but can't really balance out 2 counterspells, in my opinion.
It's a pretty good hand.
It is.
You have some card draw, you have Manland, you have the Flash of Insight.
I'm just wondering what Łukasz did with that portent, though, because consider that he would be on turn 2, he might be able to slam the combo. He probably opted not to. Yeah. Otherwise, I would expect him to keep one part of the combo, either Dreadnought or the Enabler, the Stifle on top, right? So you wouldn't expose it to discard spells. Yeah. So he probably was just afraid of removal, since Radek didn't really get on board quickly.
Maybe. Yeah, like post board, just like slamming a naked Dreadnought. They don't live that long. Yeah. Sometimes. But
as we can see, all Radek did was just tap a land once again.
But so now, like any cleric that can be sacrificed, or any creature that can be sacrificed to take those 2 counterspells.
He did have a Dreadnought ready in that portent. Well played.
Okay. Now, Radek, do you have an answer? If not, this match is over.
Snuff out. End of turn. Should have untapped. You should have untapped.
But like he knew all his cards, right? Like the Dreadnought was the new card from the hand.
Yes.
So he knew that he knew the cost.
But there was Gush, right? There was Gush,
right?
So but that doesn't really play around days, right?
Well, I mean, because then you don't have a daze. Like it would have to be Gush into foil.
Yeah.
And like do you think that that's what Łukasz should have done? Like Gush in response and hope, but he knew still the top card.
I'm not sure. But I guess he should have tried that, because he knew that therapy was coming for those counter spells, right? Nonetheless, I believe Radek should have untapped and should have drawn to just see 1 extra card before playing that snuff out.
There is no reason not to. I mean, right? Like main phasing that snuff out. There's like I know you want that Dreadnought dead as fast as you can, but like the Gush makes that place slightly problematic. Anyway, so for Radek, this is like the big problem resolved, and he's gonna be very aggressive here. He's gonna.
Flash of Insight for 0.
No, I think it's for 1. No.
No. Oh yeah,
because
he floated that mana.
He floated, but then he has to do it before or like in the same step.
Once again, shouldn't you just attack first and then let them to animate that Mistress Factory and then tap it afterwards?
Yes, I believe you should.
I guess, right.
If they don't, you're gonna leave that port for their upkeep.
Deplete their mana.
Yeah, it's a bit too hasty. Okay, so that's a Gush.
End of turn?
I think it's maybe a response to that Rotlung Ruminator. Like maybe like if now you have a foil, maybe you feel like you're under too much pressure.
You're exactly right. That's what we have just seen.
Okay. So, but I'm wondering. I mean, I guess it was too late for that foil to be there to save the Dreadnought, right? Like that were like
there was like already Flash of Insight for 1.
Sure. I suppose.
Yeah, it was too
Don't
far
port
away.
just now. That's too. No, don't do it.
So once again, tapping the Mishra's Factory.
Why are you doing that?
Well, if you didn't know it the first time, you probably don't know it the second time, right?
That's
So-
true. And I think there was again mana being floated. That's such a waste of a good port activation because like they don't even block. They don't even want to block, right? Like you can have it in their upkeep. Maybe it's gonna keep them away from their dreadnought or something. Well,
Sorry, Chet says, why isn't Yuri slamming worms? Hi, Yuri. Hey, Johnny Frost. I actually tried slamming worms today, but I ended up 0-3.
so you had some worm slamming? Is that how the activity is?
I didn't actually get to play a single worm.
Really?
No.
Oof.
Not a single time today. Yeah, it wasn't really my day, but I'm enjoying myself, Johnny Frost, very much. It's a pleasure to be here with the guys. And doing commentary, but
I mean, I was rooting for you, but I'm also happy to have you in the booth. So, for me, it was a win-win. Either Jirka does well, or he's with us.
Well, thanks, Adam. Thanks,
you know, it cannot go wrong. Yeah.
I was rooting for myself too. But
Rooting for myself is a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
anyways, so
Łukasz is still trying to fend off those Rotlang.
Rotlang has resolved, so he's getting firmly ahead here.
Is there's no therapy in the graveyard, right?
I don't think so. Not at this moment.
So the port keeps porting. Impulse.
Yep.
And my Radek has a clock. It's not like the fastest clock in the world, but it's something.
It's 4-turn clock, right?
I just really wish that it pains me to see the port being treated that way, but it's doing the job. Like it's keeping the Mishra from blocking at least. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
4 damage.
4 damage right there. I mean, port is such a great card, right? I really love it. The way you can actually play with it, and obviously there.
Ooh, that's gonna speed up the clock, right?
That's spicy.
And Cyan. Wow.
Are we gonna see a daze?
Whew. That's a lot of damage. Even if Łukasz.
Now it's actually 1-turn clock, isn't it? Right? You attack for 7 and then sacrifice 3 clerics.
Yeah, that should work.
Yep.
That should work. You get some zombies also for like
just for fun,
along
right?
the way. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. This is actually has turned into a single turn.
So what does Łukasz do here? Like if he plays a dreadnought, is it good enough?
Probably not at this point, right?
Well, I mean, he can block the Archon. He can block the Archon so that like Radek would have to do it before damage.
But still, let's say that that Radek attacks with his whole team, and then Łukasz takes 5 and plus 2 from the activation of Archon, so he's down to 5, facing still 7 power on the board, right? A zombie plus Rotlang plus another zombie plus Dark Supplicant.
Right.
So he would stall the board for 1 turn to have, I don't know, like Chain of Vapor to follow it up.
Yeah. Like he is in the world of pain right now.
I mean, if it would be probably correct to just at least crack the Dark Supplicant before damage, because you would just add extra damage, right?
But don't you? So the Cabal Archon sacrifices clerics, right? So
yes.
I think you want to keep. Like you want to sack them to the Archon rather than to the Supplicant, right?
I think so. At this point, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So there was Dominate.
Speaking of it,
Stealing a tapped zombie.
Wait,
okay.
Why?
But this needs to be tapped. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Wait, why would you not steal the Cabal Archon?
Because he didn't have enough mana to do that. I mean,
it's a casting cost.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's not. Oh, right.
I mean, all he could do
sure.
was to take either the token or the Dark Supplicant by tapping 1 extra mana.
Yeah. But then you probably should wait until it untaps.
Yes.
Because Radek cannot sack it for the Archon.
The thing was that he had 2 mana floating from Gush.
Okay.
So I believe this has been drawn from Gush.
Okay, that makes sense. And so that means you don't die just yet, because you can potentially go down to 1 if Radek decides to sacrifice his whole board.
Yes.
We can still stifle, can also stifle one of those activations, or it can stifle the zombie coming to play from Rappling Reanimator.
But there's no point in doing so. I
Also,
guess.
there's a World Art Stronghold now, so like whatever happens to the Cabal Archon,
Cabal is coming back.
and
for
that's that's the that's the upkeep.
we're gonna see upkeep tap.
Yeah, I don't know
wouldn't
if
you-
there's a
wouldn't
way
you-
for Łukasz to get out of this.
Wouldn't you tap the island instead, just because you could have tapped Mishra's Factory on your turn as well?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Right.
Just
Just
like-
nerf them even further, and that's the game.
That's the
Yep.
game. Okay. Yeah, this
Oh,
was
so-
this was different than what I expected. This was not fast enough. Fast enough. This was not.
Not fast at all.
That's what I mean. Because like Radek played his first creature on what, turn 4?
Sounds, yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so, because he went like nothing, then port you,
Yeah.
then therapy port you,
Yeah.
and then he played his first creature.
Right. So first creature turn 4, Łukasz resolved 2 dreadnoughts and they both died, right? No, like one
No,
got
just single one.
Just one.
One got snuff
snuffed
out.
out. Yeah, right. Yeah, the other one was discarded, right? To couple
Yeah,
therapy.
exactly.
So
You're
it was
right.
more like Łukasz was trying to find the pieces, not doing very well at that because he just like
What surprised me that we actually saw very little disruption from Radek's side, right? There was just one therapy and flashback, and then it was just creatures.
the port was like working overtime.
Oh,
I
yes,
think. Like
true.
it was keeping. It could have been working even a little bit more overtime, but still, even as it was doing really good things and like keeping Łukasz from mana, denying him access to that manland who would block very well. Yeah, and like you said, Rashad and port. This deck, by the way, plays ports but no wastelands. So
I mean, you can't really play Wasteland, right? You need to get the third mana, and it sort of fits your CC2 curve.
Okay, sure, right.
Because
okay.
your
makes
2
sense.
drops are just Wither Wretches, Oaths, and Headhunters. I actually believe Radek actually went quite deep on mana curve just by playing Headhunters and Oaths. I don't think that's regular.
Yeah,
I mean, chat, just you might comment on this. I'm not sure. I don't really play Clerics, but I don't believe those 2 cards are regularly being played main deck.
You're right. There's 12 3-drops in this deck, that is a lot of 3-drops. Yeah. And like if you count Dystopia from the board and Engineer played in Perish.
I mean, you try to exploit your ritual effects to the maximum, right?
Sure.
Because you play 8 of them, so to say, including Priest of Gigs. So you want to exploit as many 3-drops as possible, which makes the curve a little bit odd. And that's why port tends to be good in this deck, I think.
Makes absolute sense. You either have the ritual turn 1 or you have it turn 3. And then port is what you do turn 2. You say, well, I'm not going to play something, but you know what? You're also not going to play anything. That's fair. Now, Łukasz is going to be on the play.
So
I would suppose that gives him a little bit more of the explosiveness, except for
he's taking a mulligan.
maybe a different hand.
So he's opening himself to a good discard hand from Radek's side. If Radek goes Duress into therapy, it's gonna hurt Łukasz quite
It
bad.
always hurts. If you go, like, I'm usually the duress therapy guy.
Okay,
and I can tell you.
who you're talking to.
I can tell you.
I love Duress
I
into
love
therapy.
inflicting that type of.
So what do you think of Black in Deformment, by the way?
I personally, like, I don't leave home without duresses and therapies, I'm going for Premodern. No, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I think that these 2 cards are super good because there's a lot of decks that kind of like rely on like a 1-2 punch of something and you disrupt them, you have the perfect information. Like people say that if therapy fizzles, you're down a card. You're not. If a therapy fizzles, you know their hand, they don't have the card that you most wanted them not to have, and you have a flashback. Like for me, fizzle therapy is,
I agree 100%. I mean, I have won so many games just based on the sole fact that therapy gave me the information.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And I could have just planned my flashback on exactly the proper time.
Yeah. We had a lot of dreadnoughts with the Karlov Most background. Kinda. AI has something to say about that.
And there's a bell ringing there.
What is it?
There's a bell ringing there, right?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Right. I don't really know what it's for. But
nonetheless, there's a duress on turn 2.
Yeah, sure. And that's going to get counterspelled. Okay.
Meets counterspell.
So
So
Yeah,
no
second
follow-up
dark
for
supplicant.
Radek. So no second.
I mean,
One drop.
come on, we said it's 3 drops, right?
Exactly.
So like next turn it's gonna be the three drop turn.
It's a 3-drop tribal pretty much. Just as Replenish is a 4-drop tribal.
One of 3 drops. Wouldn't you want to play Ancient Tomb there, by the way? Just so that like you have turn 2, you play the 3 drops on turn 2 instead of turn 3. Like
makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. I mean, you might be a little bit odd with Wretch, but we have just seen Priest of Gix into foil from Łukasz.
Sure,
so
okay.
He's really playing around those Priest of Gix effects.
And he can end of turn.
Yeah, he goes sleight of hand, end of turn, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, why not?
I mean, you want to use your mana, right? Especially if you're down 1 card, and I mean, you might have just half of the combo already in hand.
Right.
So
then wouldn't if you like if you have a half of combo, you're kind of torn between using the foil to protect your combo and trying to slow your opponent down. So yeah, I mean, Łukasz knows what he's doing. Sure.
I mean, unfortunately we can't really see how many cards Radek has at the moment, but he has already played Supplicant and the Duress. So.
Yeah, I would say he still should have some cards. So 2 blue floating. Is it the Dreadnought turn?
Well, let's see about that. It's definitely a turn where Łukasz can still play a land after that Gauche.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, in a perfect spot, he would have something like, let's say, Dreadnought into Stifle while holding Vision Charm in hand.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, like the fact that Vision Charm is like another way how to protect the Dreadnought is just like...
Oh, that's silly.
That's just so good. It's like a combo piece, but also,
Still, I sort of love that the metagame sort of managed to get around that Stiflenought deck. After LobsterCon last year, of course, it was a huge blast. Just once Tide showed in that deck. But yeah, the format has many ways of interacting.
Yeah, it basically tells you which removal is playable and which one is not. Right? Like it's like there's the Dreadnought criteria. Like, if you're playing removal, might as well kill... I mean, it should kill the Dreadnought, otherwise you're not doing it right.
You can't appear at an event such as this one and not have a plan for Dreadnoughts.
Absolutely.
You need to tailor your removal swaps perfectly against the deck.
So, Łukasz still has 1 mana floating from that Gush. Seems to be... I don't know, it's in that spot where he's like looking for stuff, playing Impulse, Portent, not getting there, or like what are we doing?
But he portented and kept, so obviously there's something that's worth having.
It could be more card selection, but okay, he's gonna do something. No, it's just the mana fizzled. No mana burn, just
just took that out of my mouth.
you're
I'm a big mana burn fan actually.
Okay, so.
Okay, well, you have some mana to dip into just shrinking potential Flash of Insight. Yeah. But, or you can just sacrifice those 3. No, you're not gonna run that into Stifle.
It's risky. It's risky for so many reasons. Like Chain of Vapor Stifle just obliterate your board and you have nothing.
Unless there's no Rotlunk, you don't go for it.
Sure. Yeah. Like I agree with this. Also, again, the Wretch is not terrible. Something can be removed from the graveyard, and it's like, even if it doesn't do anything now, then like, there we go. So Dreadnought, Vision Charm.
So no snuff out from Radek's side, at least not right now. I guess that was his only potential interaction. So what's his plan here? He has 5 damage on board. And he might be pondering whether it's worth it. Oh, so we might be going for combo here because Supplicant retains untapped.
Rotlung Reanimator? Priest of
Gix. Okay.
And Rotlung Reanimator?
Cabal Archon.
Okay, is it enough? Like, I actually really like Cabal Archon here, just sack your board, deal 8 or like 10.
Exactly, at this point.
So I'm actually thinking maybe it would have been better to attack.
I think so because that's the one damage that you're missing for having an even number on Łukasz side.
That 13 looks so bad there. Another thing is that it gives you 1 more turn to live against Dreadnought, even if you just sacrifice 3 guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this game might be getting to.
It's a race.
That you just gain enough life with Cabal Archon to make it work.
Cabal Archon so good?
Well, don't miss out on Cabal Archon. It's spiking out after this event.
Yeah, buy all the copies from everywhere. You can get
Our sponsors, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
so, but like this race looks actually favorable for Radek, right?
I think so.
He's
so.
Right now we're looking at it. He's winning the race.
I'm not sure what Łukasz's plan is here, since he couldn't stay back. That's not a winning strategy.
Yeah.
But still, he's rather behind, considering that Radek actually might climb up to 14 life very easily, or even 16.
14 sounds like a good number.
Yeah.
16 sounds like maybe an overkill. But
maybe that's why you don't use Ancient Tombs.
maybe, yeah. It's Dreadnought protection.
I believe I have seen a version with like 2 copies of City of Traders.
City of Traders, sure. Yeah.
But
and go.
Let's see.
Stifles do something. Stifles actually say that you need to sacrifice one more guy, and so now the supplicant gets in, sure. So that helps with the this whole it's odd even life total.
It's 9 damage, right? Yeah. So you are putting Łukasz into a position where he needs to have an interaction right away, because he couldn't potentially stifle all the Cabal Archon triggers.
Chain of Vapor
for Cabal
Archon.
Okay.
I like it.
But Radek just sacrifices land and bounces the Dreadnought, right? I guess Łukasz will counter the. I think Łukasz's plan is to counter that copy.
Mm-hmm. You can. Oh, it's a copy that gets put on stack.
It's a regular copy on the stack. So let's see if Radek identifies.
Yeah. If Radek
sacrifices it.
But then you can't copy it.
Ooh, this is
I don't think that's what you. But if you sacrifice the Archon, then you can't copy it.
You can't, because it just gets countered. It gets countered.
Yeah.
Upon resolution, it gets
countered.
No, the Chain of Vapor needs to resolve.
Yeah.
In order for you to be able to copy
it.
But
did we already see him sacking it? Or
yes, we did. But I believe they are just rolling back a little bit. Łukasz probably allowed that.
Okay,
which is
that's
very
generous.
Very generous of him. Huge props to him being a kind player. We are at regular rel.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
So I believe the judges would have seen it the same way, probably.
Really?
Yeah,
isn't it something that you've already done?
Considering that he obviously had a plan to copy the spell, right? It wasn't like okay, I sacrifice it and
by the way,
you should have copied that. Oh yeah, I should have. Let me do that. That's not what happened. He obviously wanted to make a copy here.
Isn't it though? You should be allowed to make a mistake. If you want to do it, but you kind of don't get there because of the execution
we'd have to discuss that with the judges. But I believe the way the regular rel is considered is that you are allowed to be, you can sort of be excused of these sort of mistakes as long as the game can be returned to the state where you can fix that. If you realize it right away, but you can still be sporty and just say, okay, well, my bad. Yeah, I should have known that.
I think that pen that we saw was a judge, right? That was the hand that appeared from down there was a judge. So I suppose that they are having a similar discussion like we are, but with an extra authority given from the judge. So maybe Łukasz is arguing actually, you know what, that Cabal Archon was already sacrificed. And to me it makes sense. Because there's clearly something that Radek didn't know, and that means if I sack, it fizzles.
And actually, the judge obviously agrees with you, because the Cabal Archon is sacrificed. Radek has climbed up to 10 life,
which is not enough,
and that's not enough.
I don't want to argue for screwing one of the players over, and I understand both points of view here.
Honestly, this is probably the fairest way to resolve that, because Radek clearly had sacrificed that.
Yeah. Okay. And this
another Archon,
unless he has a land. If he has a land, he can block, sacrifice another creature,
Yeah, exactly. Block
Go
sacrifice
to 12, trample goes,
But-
takes him down, but he has to have another one.
For some reason, he tapped 4 mana.
No, because one he used to sacrifice the first
Oh yeah,
Archon.
the first
Yeah.
Archon. But there's
But like,
days
it's not going to be
anyway.
relevant. Days counters that Archon, and that's the game.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So, was there a way for him? There was, but like
if he
Yeah.
if he didn't just sacrifice that Archon
Yeah.
so preemptively,
yeah.
he could have just won that. I
Yeah.
mean, all he had to do was just simply to sacrifice few of his clerics to
Well, I mean-
gain few life.
It was in the combat, so like I think we're coming back again to
Oh, yeah, it
last
was
turn where he
during
should
combat,
have
true,
attacked
true.
for one more, and now he could have sacrificed that supplicant for 2
mean-
extra damage. But like, what an interesting game! Like these judge calls, these situations, they are, to me, they're part of the game. Like people make mistakes, and
Definitely.
then
That's
yeah.
why there are judges in the first place,
definitely,
right?
Like you're a judge as well, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not
Not
a
anymore?
judge. No, I have never been a judge. I'm just
okay,
a
okay.
guy who people tend to turn to regarding rules.
Somehow I always regarded you as a rules authority, you know. So I thought you were a judge as well. Okay.
Maybe viewed by the Premodern community in Czech, yeah, but I have never been an official judge. No.
Okay. All right. So we've seen a very tense, and actually pretty long match. Also, we have
Yes.
3 minutes until the end of the round. Nice. I gotta say, don't underestimate the power of clerics. They can raise dreadnoughts. They can.
And read Chain of Vapor carefully.
That's 2 lessons.
That's another message coming
this,
from these games.
This
yes.
round. I have this itch where I really want to try the clerics with Ancient Tomb. I mean, maybe like I'm gonna be.
It's going to be a little bit suicidal, but you can climb up with Cabal Archon potentially.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe I would cut some of the snuff outs then, because like there's only so much damage that you can.
Yeah,
take, right?
snuff out and that might be a little bit too hurtful.
We'll
so
see,
you're
yeah.
limiting your removal suit,
Yeah.
but
It's definitely there are things on my brewing list. One of them is Dark Supplicant with Academy Rector. I believe that Academy Rector is, if I remember correctly,
it is
I
a
think it's
human cleric, right?
Yeah, so you can sacrifice it to Dark Supplicant.
I love you.
It's like the trouble is like, what do you search for?
That's where actually Ancient Tomb comes in, right?
Yeah, like
I mean,
you can speed it up a little.
Black-white mana is
I
kind
know,
of awkward,
I know,
right?
I know. You're gonna need some help from like City of Brass, and at that point we're like, or like maybe Mox Diamond.
So
I don't know.
what enchantment are you getting?
I mean, it would have to be something off color. Like unless we're going for like Yavgmund's bargain. No, the Yavgmund's agenda, which Tomáš advocated pretty strongly last round.
I would go for Decree of Silence.
You're my man. That's on my list.
I mean, here's my 6/6 and a decree. You know,
Yeah.
your
And-
turn. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
right. Like deal with it, but you have to have
Yeah.
like 4 ways or like 4 spells. Yeah, I guess like you can always do something cute like Future Sight or Form of the Dragon. The downside being that you're gonna have some very awkwardly costed cards in your black-white deck that you might not be able to cast.
That sounds so cringy, but I mean, all of these enchantments that we are showing right now, they are potentially epic. But
Yeah.
consider the mana base. Wow.
No, I mean it would have to be a black-white deck where you just kind of
Yeah.
you pay the price of not being able to cast all your spells sometimes when you draw them. Yeah. But anyway, if you guys in the chat have some ideas for my new black-white clerics decks, please let me know. I'll be reading that very carefully.
See Adam's list at the next European Championship.
Maybe I win like the beer for the most creative deck, before I drop.
Going my way.
I mean, you only did it because you wanted, like you felt that we need you.
Yeah, deep
coverage.
down,
I
I
know.
guess
I know.
I wanted
Yeah.
this. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have more of Yirkatuma in the coming rounds. We have just a couple of minutes before round 7, actually.
Yep.
So we're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna see you all at the beginning of the next round very soon.
Don't go anywhere.